All right, hey guys. So this is video on subtracting rationals. Okay, I'm going to give you a few examples now, and then I'll do another video tomorrow on the same thing, just so you have some reinforcement. May look at a word problem one as well tomorrow. Okay, so you have to remember that you have to use your integer rules. Okay, so if we have, let's just start with something like this. This is example 1. Negative 5 minus a negative 11. Okay? You have to remember that we don't look at subtraction ones. We change it to addition, and then we change the other sign. Okay? I'm going to do this one with counters first. So this is 5 reds. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 11 yellows. Okay? And then we have all of our 0 pairs, which just means it's canceling each other out. And whatever's left is our answer. So this is 6, and they're positive. So the answer for this one would be a positive 6. Okay? That's just to kind of get your mind going in the negatives again. All right, let's look at a fraction one. What about negative 2 and a half minus 7 and a half? Okay. First of all, look, I see fractions. The fractions have the same denominator, so I'm good there. Okay. Once again, we don't do subtraction. We change it to addition. And then this is a positive 7, so we're going to change it to a negative 7. So now all we're doing is adding, these are reds and these are reds. Okay? If they're all reds, all we do is get a bigger red answer. Okay? Our absolute value is larger. Okay? So all we're doing is adding what is 2.5 plus 7.5. Well, 2 plus 7 is 9. 1 plus 1 is 2 over 2, which is actually 1 whole. So this is 10. So our answer for this one is a negative 10. Okay, if you're a number line person, that's fine as well. Let's see, let me draw this out real quick. Okay, so we're starting at negative 2.5. Okay, and we're going, the original problem was negative 2.5 minus 7.5. Okay, so we're at negative 2.5. We're going to go left 7.5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then here's our half. We're at negative 10, either way. Okay, I encourage you to use counters and to use a number line. It will help, I promise. I've said it before, and I'll say it a million times this year. Number lines and the counters help. If you don't obviously get counters on a test, but you're able to draw an R and a Y. Okay, let's look at one more problem. Negative 1 1/3 minus negative 2 5/6. Okay. We don't do subtraction. We change it to addition. This is a negative, so we do this. Some of y'all called it keep, change last year, or add a line, change the sign. Okay? Whatever it is that you remember from last year. Now, I see fractions and I see 2 different denominators. If you have 2 different denominators, you have to change them to the same thing. Well, a 3 can be made into a 6, so I'm going to change this to a 6 on bottom. And this is times 2 times 2. Okay, now this one's a little harder to do a number line with. So let's just recall some of our rules. If we are adding different signs, then you're finding the difference. They're different signs. Sorry, different signs. Find difference. And we know difference is subtraction. So we're just going to subtract 2 and 5 6. I got to put the bigger one on top, obviously. Minus 1 and 2 6. Well, 6 stays the same. 5 minus 2 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then this is going to reduce. It's a fraction. You always have to reduce or simplify. Sorry, I shouldn't say reduce. I should say simplify. 1/2. And then which absolute value is larger? Is the 1 or is the 2? Well, the 2 is bigger, so we're going to say this is a positive 1 and 1/2. Sorry, coming off the page. Okay. Decimals are the same thing. Decimals aren't as hard. You know, adding and subtracting decimals, you line up the decimals, but they follow the same rules. So if you're adding them, if they're different signs, you actually find the difference. If it's a subtraction problem, add a line, change the sign. You have to follow the same integer rules. All right, so you'll do some problems with Miss Joyner tomorrow. You'll do some partner work, and then you'll do an assignment. If you can't get through all the assignment, that is fine. It's not due until Friday. All right.